We're live. We had a bit of a delay. I had some internet and electricity problems. I came back from the doctor's office today, and all the clocks were flashing at me, so I knew the electricity had gone out. So anyway, Zbyshek Pawlak from Poland is here, and if you're new to our interviews, every once in a while I have an interview with Zbyszek. Just to recap, I met Zbyszek in 1994 when I had less gray hair. Zbyszek is, I think, 10 years younger than I am. But Zbyszek and I worked together with some other people, Norwegians and Americans, and some crazy Australians and New Zealanders and a few other people from around the world. And we were trying to reach out to the people of Kazakhstan with the gospel, particularly the Kazakh people, but really anybody who'd be interested. And Zbyszek conducted some Bible studies and had a real following of people. He speaks Russian fluently, so because he could conduct the Bible studies and really get deep with people. And anyway, we got to know him and played basketball together and had a lot of interesting experiences. And then we sort of parted ways. We came back in 1997 for a couple of reasons. And I found out later through social media that Zbyszek had been in Beslan, where there was a horrible school massacre. You can look that up. It's when the people stormed the school on the 1st of September, 2014, right, Zbyszek? Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. 2004.
I'm sorry, 2004. And Zbyszek went in afterwards and interviewed a bunch of people and, tried to provide comfort for them and understand their stories. Zbyszek is a great collector of stories and would you call yourself a storyteller in a way?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. I like that. Storyteller.
On the TED Talks, I think you've done a TED Talk in Poland anyway. Anyway, he's a great storyteller. If you've seen some of our interviews, he tells a compelling story about what's going on in the Ukraine. He is also, and he wrote a book, by the way, on Beslan. He's translated into Polish and Russian, and he would like to get something off the ground and get it published into English. So if anyone is interested in reaching out to either one of us in that regard, please do. He has also been to Afghanistan and Nepal, I believe, following an earthquake. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was helping out with the catastrophe there. And then this last year, when the war started in Ukraine, he's been working with a Dutch organization and providing humanitarian relief and comfort to the people. And one of the unique things about Zbyszek and his group that he's working with is that they're going in on a regular basis. So every 6 weeks, I believe is what he told me, he's going in. Yeah. And so what's great about that is I'm guessing you're probably seeing some of the same people again, right?
Yeah. This is so as usually it's, I think, the most exciting that you see. You can follow someone's life. And in different areas in the east of Ukraine.
Just a minute, Zbyszek. I'm having a little sound issue, and I think it's my problem. I am going to put headphones on because I'm getting a little reverb and echo, and it might be because I'm using an exterior. So I knew that was probably going to happen. So like a good little Boy Scout, I am prepared. So just bear with me. I've got headphones. Okay. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Nothing has changed. Yeah.
I'm still getting reverb. I'm not sure why, but anyway, go ahead and continue to tell us what you were saying.
So as I said, we've been going back for almost a year to the east side of Ukraine, mostly to the liberated areas, which were occupied by Russians, sometimes for 6 months or even 8 months. And they were liberated by the Ukrainian army. And the life is coming back to these areas. There are towns and also villages. which we come back. We were very involved during the winter time because it was a very dangerous time and very difficult for the civilians, because the idea of winning with Ukraine was to destroy all the civilian infrastructure, not the really military infrastructure, but civilian. They call it military infrastructure to be politically correct, but they were destroying the civilian. So the cities, towns, villages were losing electricity, heating systems, the water. All of this was destroyed. The roads were destroyed, bridges. So life was very difficult for just people, for normal people. And it's not easy to travel there because of the condition of the road. Sometimes you drive on the road, looks quite okay, but your tires are making the sound, strange sound. And at the first, we thought, what's going on? Something's wrong with the car. And the idea what it could be?
No,
what do you think?
I don't. I have no idea.
Yeah, the road is sort of destroyed by the tanks. The tanks were driving on the road, and it cut the surface. So when you drive, the rubber on your wheels is making this kind of a sound. So it's it's little things sometimes, but very
Yeah,
strange
yeah.
things you don't expect. So we learned this different things. We had to learn that when you drive from town to town, you need to be careful and only drive on the black roads. Don't go into dust roads, because you can't see much, and also you can drive on a mine. So we've learned that if you drive and you stop somewhere with a vehicle, don't go on the side because you can step on something.
Yeah, speaking of mines, Zbyszek and I had a private conversation earlier this week, and you were telling me about the mines that are in people's gardens and in the trees and falling from the sky. And tell us about that, because I found that really, well, it was disturbing, but it was interesting as well.
I have cards here. You will see I have cards. On the one side is like Ukraine
Yeah.
Map of Ukraine, and these are cards to play.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Like poker cards. Yeah. It even
Yeah,
has a
it's
code.
like poker cards.
Yeah. What's
Yes, and
the,
it has a IQ. It has IQ codes, so you can check them on the website on the internet.
right.
And these cards are to learn the missiles you can find on your fields,
Oh, goodness.
so you can recognize them. Because all of this stuff you can find now on the Ukrainian fields,
Oh,
sometimes next to your house. And you can go on and go on. And the most, of course, dangerous for us are these kind of mines, which are, on the roads or on the fields, like because you drive, so you need to be careful. And probably the most dangerous for us is this kind of mine, which is just in the grass. You can walk on it, and I have one that exploded, but I received it from the one villager. So this is where the explosive gets in, and it's smaller than
in your palm of your hand.
maybe
Yeah.
like a finger. Yeah, you see. So this kind of stuff is thrown from the helicopters or planes on the ground, and all the fields are filled up. And as I tell the story I mean, we were there in winter time, so people were telling us that it's very dangerous to walk to any of the fields. But of course, in the winter time, you don't do that. Everything is frozen. You don't need to go there, and there was snow, so you couldn't even see. But then when we came in March, it was very different, because you could see it was just on the ground, and there was no frost anymore. So people were telling us, you just walk, follow us, even when we visited the villages. So follow us, so you don't step on it, because it's easy to step on this mine, and then you lose your foot, or even till your knee, your leg. And the last time we were there, two or 3 weeks ago, we visited one of the hospitals near the village, and there was a villager there who lost his foot just stepping on one of these mines. And the same day afternoon, we went to that village and we talked to his neighbor, because we know his neighbor. We visited him a couple of times. His house was destroyed by a missile. He's trying to rebuild it if he can, because he has no other place to go, and he lived there all his life. So we help him as well, and other people who live in the village. It's a village of about 600 families, about 1,000 families, or people rather, 1,000 people, about 600 houses. A village of 600 houses, all of them destroyed. And the gardens, home gardens, some have fields, there are some farmers, but most of them have their house gardens behind their houses, where they have their strawberries, maybe carrots, flowers, and other things. So all of these fields are filled with those mines. And when we came this time, we could see the grass was pretty high, so it's again very dangerous to walk. But they cleaned most of their gardens. They've cleaned, and they already planted some of these vegetables and fruit trees again. Found about 30 of these mines in their just house garden. So it's just everywhere.
I was telling Zbyszek that my wife and I we think of our garden as our space of relaxation and almost therapy. It's a place where we go to have our stress relieved and just enjoy the process of sticking your hands in the ground. In fact, Sabrina told me once, she did some research or reading on this, that there's actually research that shows if you actually physically put your hand in the earth and dig around, it actually does something inside of your brain that affects those chemicals that make you happy. So anyway, when Zbyszek told me this, that a person's garden has gone from their place of, provision, food, perhaps relaxation, into a place of potential terror. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Zbyszek, are you hearing me? Because the connection.
Yeah.
I'm
a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Connection was a little fuzzy. I'm looking at it on Facebook on my phone, and it doesn't look that bad. So I'm apologize to anyone who might be listening, and if there's some issues with, I don't know if it's an internet issue today or what, but or some spiritual warfare or something.
Sorry to hear that.
But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's good. It's good what you're saying about it, because we asked